Hello, my lovely peaches. I wanted to make a video expanding on Meditation 101, and this topic is not good vibes only. So I did discuss this in Meditation 101, the extended version, and as I said in that video, I'm going to pull out points that I made in that video and expand upon it. So the topic I really wanted to expand upon right now is not good vibes only. So there is a pervasive and invasive and ridiculous notion that Buddhism or meditation is about good vibes only, out with the bad, in with the good. And that's bullshit. Okay, that is the Disney-ified, Americanized version of meditation or of the idea of, Zen, okay? And why that's bullshit is because real life is not about good vibes only. It might sound good, but do you want to eat sugar all the time? Do you want to just have sweets and things that are just pleasure all the time? Maybe you want that, but that's not healthy. And the same is true for good vibes only. Okay, good vibes only. Yeah, it sounds nice, but the reality is that life is not good vibes only. Meditation is not about achieving a false state or accessing some artificial place where everything is good. That's actually not at all what meditation is about. Meditation is the opposite, in fact. Meditation is about learning to stay with whatever is, learning to stay with the bad vibes, learning to sit with your same old shitty self and actually learn how to accept and love yourself even though you're a piece of shit sitting there in a stinky dog shit pile with flies flying all around you, and you've got negative attitude, you're hopeless, you complain all the time, you're mean, you don't appreciate people, you're inconsiderate, you're privileged, you're entitled, and you're sitting there and you're an asshole, okay? And you're not gonna just good vibes only out of that shit. You need to sit there and sit in your stinky shit. Sit there and marinate in your shitty stinkiness. Your shit stinks, okay? Acknowledge it. Light an incense. Sit with your stinky shit. You stink mentally. You stink emotionally. You stink spiritually. You stink physically. You actually physically stink. You stink physically. You smell like farts and armpits and stinky feet and onions, okay? Everything about you is shit. All right? At least that's how you probably feel. For some of you, it's totally true, okay? For some of you, you are pieces of shit. You are inconsiderate, rude, entitled, privileged people. Inconsiderate, rude, entitled, privileged people who don't even recognize the privilege that you hold. You don't recognize how luxurious your life is. You don't know how easy you've got it. You don't appreciate the things in your life that you already have. You don't appreciate the people who love you, who are there for you, that you act like they're not there for you when they are. Or maybe none of that is true. Maybe you are a good vibe. Maybe you are sitting there and you're sitting there on your lotus flower and you genuinely have no one to love you. You don't have any friends. You don't have any loved ones. You don't have any trusted sources of higher guidance. You don't have a strong support system around you. You're not a shitty person. You're a really good person, but somehow you were dealt a shitty ass stack of cards Okay, and that could be very well the truth. The point of all this and the reprimand, and I'm talking bad to you, and I'm talking down to you, I'm insulting you, I'm telling you what a fucking piece of shit. I'm telling you what a F-bomb POS you are. Why? Because that's what you need to sit with. That's what you need to actually be with. Because meditation is about learning to stay with all of it. And then you can add all the layers of, well, actually, I'm an amazing daughter or son. I'm an amazing child to my parents. I'm an amazing sibling. I'm an amazing aunt or uncle. I'm an amazing friend. I'm an amazing business owner or employer or employee. I'm an amazing worker. And I'm an amazing meditator. The full range of your thoughts and feelings that go from the happiest of happy and the most on high, king of the mountain type of attitude, and then you've got the other extreme of sitting in a stew of shit because you are a POS and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and guess what? All of it is true. All of it exists. And then there's all the mundane crap in the middle that actually maybe you're not an extremely terrible person. Maybe you're not an extremely wonderful person. Maybe you're just sort of a regular person who's unique just like everyone else, special in your own way, but pretty much the same in general as humans are across the world, okay? So, the point of this is to help you recognize good vibes only is a drug. It's a fake ass idea. It's an Instagram life view. It is not real life. It's not real life. It's not real meditation. It's not actually doing the work on yourself. It's not learning to stay with who you really are and what you really are and where you really are and start where you are, so that you can learn and grow and develop your real self, not this fake Pollyanna, let me put all my real hard issues that I don't know how to deal with, that are emotionally problematic landmines, that are undeveloped areas of triggers, literally popping off out of nowhere because I don't sit with my same old shitty self. I refuse to sit and stay with the terribleness that is me, or the terribleness that I perceive as me. And if you sit and you stay with your same old shitty self, then you start to recognize, actually, I'm not that bad. Really? Maybe? Or you recognize, wow, I really am a very terrible person in how I show up. And maybe I can be a better daughter, a better son, a better mother, a better father, a better sister or brother or aunt or uncle, a better friend, a better employer or employee. Maybe I can actually be better. And then I told you that meditation is not about being a better person, and it sounds like a catch-22, but it's not, because the practice of meditation is learning to sit and stay with whatever is and accept it judgment-free. That is not the place to become a better person. That's the place to learn who you really are, who you genuinely are. If you sit there with good vibes only attitude, then you're not going to get the juicy stuff that is what you need to clear out. Good vibes only is like sitting on a pile of garbage and eating some, dessert or some snacks and being like, I'm sitting here on this fucking landmine pile of but I'm eating some good vibes, so guess what? It's all good. It might be all good, okay, but when you get off your meditation mat and go back to real life, you've learned nothing. You've learned nothing useful. All you know now is another mask, another way to fake, another way to push your real feelings down or to the side, or to throw them into the abyss of the place that you're never going to deal with it. Okay, and then therefore you're never going to actually get better. The getting better doesn't come from the mat. The getting better comes from the curriculum that you learn on the mat. And when you get up off the mat, that's when you go do the work of being a better person. Another way to mask, or another way to talk about this phenomenon, is the term spiritual bypass. So if you've ever driven in New Jersey, you know what's called, or you might know what's called, a jug handle. And on a highway, there are however often, what's called a jug handle, which is basically what it sounds like, a giant jug handle. So if you're on a highway and you need to get on the other side going in the opposite direction, since you can't make left turns on the highway, New Jersey created a system called a jug handle where you go in a giant loop. Let me put over here, a giant loop, and it brings you back around where you can make a right turn to get back on the highway going in the opposite direction. And when you go on this giant loop around jug handle, you bypass a whole bunch of stuff. There's streets, town, all these things that you just go and you jug handle right around it, and you get back on where you need to go. So spiritual bypass is a way of finding a jug handle, so to speak, where you make a U-turn, or you just, like, there's also jug handles that get you from one highway to another. And there's like these areas where, if you look from an aerial view, you'll see there's like 4 jug handles. It looks like a bow on a gift, because all the highways loop around, and sometimes they loop. It can get very complicated. The point is that is a way of imagining some of these practices which people jump on and spiritually bypass their trauma. So one of the teachers who I absolutely love and adore, and anytime I'm feeling low, I can go listen to her video, Abraham Hicks, whose real name is Esther Hicks, and her husband, who's passed away many years now, Jerry Hicks. They worked together for many years, and she's still continuing. And she always talks about reaching for the better feeling, and living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, living in the end. She talks about you can't drag somebody who's not on the path. You want to go on the path to the path by getting off the path and dragging them there. You have to meet the people on the path that are on the path with you by being on the path. And I believe and love all of her things. However, I do also believe that if you don't do the work first, your spiritual work, healing from your traumas, your unseen alignment that's holding you. One of the last videos I made was called The Deeper Truth of Unseen Alignment. And we are always aligned, but with what? Meaning, when we talk about manifesting and aligning and finding an aligned purpose, an aligned partner, an aligned path, the fact is you're always aligned. Every single second of the day you're aligned and you're manifesting. Regardless of whether you're aligned with what you want or manifesting what you want, you are aligned and manifesting regardless. So the point that I'm making is, if you want to get what I believe is true long-term healing and up-leveling and manifesting in a way that's not built on a stack of cards, that's all based on spiritual bypass and only reaching for the better feeling, but not actually also doing the curriculum for your growth and your healing, I believe that's a spiritual bypass. So as much as I love Abraham Hicks, I think that her teaching has its place, but it's not the whole everything. You can't accomplish it all, in my mind, without actually doing the work of healing yourself. So while you can use meditation to sit there and feel better, which sometimes a guided meditation to feel better is actually exactly what's called for, but good vibes only as a lifestyle is a spiritual bypass, not actually healthy, mature, healed, healthy relating to people and life. So sitting on the mat or wherever it is that you're doing your meditation is not about doing the work of being a better person. It's about doing the work of observing. Doing the work of observing who you really are. all the good, all the bad, all the ugly, all the stinky, all the shitty, all the unique, all the fear, and all of it, the gunk and the layers and levels of crap that you've never dealt with, and all your insecurities and your humiliations and your disappointments and your betrayals and the grief and the pain and everything bad. All that is in there, and you need to sit with it, honey. Hunty, hated it. 2 snaps in a circle, hated it. But you got to sit with it. If you want to learn how to be a more genuine person, a more authentic person, a more real person who actually has the ability to sit with shit, that's what meditation helps you to gain. If you don't sit there with this BS idea of good vibes only, out with the bad, in with the good, because I'm just going to sit here and suck on my little straw of hedonism and pleasure. You can do that if you want to, but that's not real meditation. It's not good vibes only, babe. It's real life. And I'm not saying you can't sit in the mirror and do a rampage of positive affirmations, or sit there and tell yourself all the good things. I'm not telling you you can't sit and do a good vibes only meditation. You can do whatever you want to do. But ultimately, the truth is, if you want to do actual meditation and not just another mask, another layer of pleasure only, another mask of brush the pain under the rug so I can appear as if it's all good vibes. If you're not looking for that, and you actually, you don't want to just mask symptoms, but you want to get to the root. You want to understand what's going on for real so you can make real change, actual positive, beneficial change in your life that's going to impact not only you, but all the people who you have in your life, all the relationships that you have. And then those relationships can be touched and impacted positively. And then it's a ripple effect of positive relationships impacting the world in a beneficial way. But just bringing it back to yourself in your own life, being authentic and genuine is actually where you find true happiness, and being with the good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful, all in one. It's not easy. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not a get healthy quick scheme. It's not a mask. It's not, wearing chime anklets and, hey, I got my cute little dress on right now, and, I'm all coochie crunchy and hippy dippy granola, but it's not about that. It's not about this fake woo-woo. Some of these creators I see, they're always like, oh, the moon and the stars are connecting and guiding you, and yum, 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 and this good vibes only space, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and hey, I'm not saying that doesn't have its place in the world. There's times where I feel like shit. I'm in a bad mood, I'm depressed, I'm feeling down, so I pop on Abraham Hicks or Melanie Beckler or somebody who's really going to give me good vibes. I pop on JosephRodrigues, or one of my favorites is NevilleGoddess, Maggie Murphy. She's not good vibes only, she's totally talking about real vibes, okay? And that's where I'm at, and that's what this is about. If you want good vibes only meditation, you can find it. You'll find it, okay? This is about true vibes meditation. Real authentic living has pain. Real authentic way of being and relating in the world and dealing with your trauma, as well as your positive, your fears, your excitements, your goals, your dreams, your disappointments. All of that is messy, it's real, it's complicated, it's multi-layered, it's multifaceted, it's varied, okay? And it has all kinds of emotions, every emotion. There's anger, there's pain, there's betrayal, there's disgust, there's contempt, there's love and joy. There's appreciation and gratitude. There's excitement and inspiration and motivation. There's depression. There's hope. There's knowing. There's up-leveling. There's everything. Everything is in there. And that is the point of true meditation. Learning to stay with what is, no matter what it is, without judgment. Good vibes, bad vibes, stinky vibes, floral vibes, all the vibes, everything. Genuine, real, actual meditation and being real and genuine with yourself. And being real and genuine with yourself is what it's about. So that you can wake up and go to bed each day and each night feeling good about who you really are. Shitty self and all. The shit and the flowers all together. Mwah. But the fact is that that's hard. That's a lot harder to do.
Please hang up and try again.
It takes a lot longer. It's a lot more complicated. It's going to be a lifetime. But what I've learned, what I have learned, it's 3:30 a.m. and I'm popping in because I'm editing the video. And I realized that I forgot to say the thing that I meant to say, and then I went off and made another point, which was a very good point. But the other thing I forgot to say is that what I have learned is that most people prefer pleasure than hard work. That's the sad, cold, hard fact. It's sad or it's happy. I don't know. Is it sad? Is it a sad thing that most people will given the chance, myself included, I mean, not always though, which is why I'm here making these videos, but most people, given the chance, will just prefer pleasure. Instant gratification. Why do the hard work and suffer and feel the pain and work through the pain when I can just watch a show or a movie or play a video game or eat something pleasurable or drink or smoke or get high, which I'm going to go do right now. Okay, I'm not saying don't self-medicate in some way. I'm not saying don't feel pleasure. I'm certainly not saying avoid pleasure. However, we can avoid doing the hard work because we don't want to face our shitty self or our shitty past or our shitty pain or our shitty way we behaved or the shitty things that our parents did or our ex-lover or our current lover or our employer or our employee or on and on and on and on. To the break of dawn. The point is that what I was trying to say is that I've learned the majority of people will choose pleasure over doing the hard work. And even though the long-term benefit is going to be better for you overall when you do the hard work, most people want to get rich quick scheme, instant gratification. Most people want to pop a pill. Most people want what they want and they don't want to have to work hard for it. And hey, I'm ready for some unexpected, uplifting waves of income coming in rapidly with succession and repetition and consistency forever, baby. And I'm willing to do all the hard work, but not too hard to get all the wonderful stuff. So hey, I get it. It's easier to be happy. The point of this video, Not Good Vibes Only, is that genuine, truest happiness comes from not just doing good vibes only, but actually healing, which sometimes means bad vibes or pain. But if you look at the light at the end of the tunnel, through it, there's lasting joy. But lasting joy does not come without pain, because life has suffering regardless. And until you go back to your purely vibrational form, aka dead, you're going to feel some sense of pain because you're a human being, okay? And that's the way it is. But you don't have to avoid all pain, especially if it helps you heal and deal and face yourself so you can be a better person, which isn't the goal, but maybe the outcome eventually. Ultimately, learning to just stay and be with yourself and recognize maybe you're not so shitty after all and you need a little more self-love, or maybe you are really shitty and you need a little bit more self-love. You know what I mean? Okay, on back to the rest of the video. That was not a sponsor. Bye. I have learned since I started a vegan blog and then a LoveLivingPeach YouTube channel and LoveDreamingPeach YouTube channel, and I talk about meditation, I talk about healing from trauma, I talk about doing the work, I talk about the curriculum for your growth, I talk about junky belief systems and faulty thinking and ways that we think of the world and see the world that actually harm us and others. I talk about how the worldview of yourself within your family is the worldview of yourself within the larger world, and that could be shitty or positive. The ultimate point of this whole thing is that this is not a band-aid. This is not take an Advil so you can feel better painkiller. This is do the work. Meditation isn't the same thing as therapy where you sit and you talk about your problems and your pain. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. That's a different thing. Meditation is you learning to sit with you. All of you. All of you. Learning to accept yourself and love yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, the shitty. 8 plus 5. like really struggling to figure out why I had just set that timer. Okay. Okay. Let's turn this off. Bye.
Next time we come here.
I just like the sound of the ding.